What's going on, YouTube? Super Insane 18 here. We are here with Ed. You guys have seen him before. He just unfortunately bubbled at YCS Vegas 3v3. What were you playing?
I was playing Dark World.
All right, and you said you personally went X1, right? Your team just didn't?
Yeah, it happens. I really like my deck. Dark World, I think, is like a really sleeper deck this format. It has like good matchups against like everything but Kashtira. But then if you just win the roll versus that deck, like if you win the roll versus any deck with Dark World, like you should just like win.
All right, do you have any shout-outs? You want to save those till the end? Or
I just shout out JRB, shout out my team. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
all right, let's show them the list.
Yep. So 3 Lava Golem in my Dark World deck. It's a Fiend level 8. It's a mandatory in the format. Just clears the boards. I don't use my normal summon at all, so I just mainly just have Lava Golem as my normal summon. 2 Nessie, 2 Bigfoot, 2 Chupa, and 1 Jackalope. So my the worst hands in the deck are like just all dangers, and the issue with a lot of the dangers are they are not like the correct level or like the right typing, right? So they're like none of them. The only one that is a fiend is like a Chupacabra. So what happens a lot of the time is because you're summoning like these weird levels, you have to make Saruja or things that like don't that kind of like bait you into getting imperm and stuff like that. So I felt like the best hands were just like 1 danger and like that's it to like trigger your Dark Worlds. I wanted like more control over it, but looking back at this event, I would probably play like 1 Chupa, 3 Mothman, because at first I was really scared of Mothman discarding cards, stuff like that, giving my opponents pluses. But all the matches that I played, I mainly only played against like Kashtira and Despia, so like the discard and stuff like that, it was like whatever. And not enough people are playing like 50 hand traps to where giving them like an extra card might have given them a hand trap. So instead of playing other dangers, I played this engine. I played Branded in High Spirits, and this. It's really cool because Masquerade is a fiend, and because it's a fiend, you get to search for Albion, which is basically just Upstart, but Albion's also a level 8 and a dark, so you can trade an alert. So it's like really, it's basically just a danger, but it requires like an extra deck requirement. Also does some cool stuff. There was one game where my opponent flipped anti-spell. I chained Brandon in High Spirits, discard Graph, and I was able to pop it. It was like insane. And now the Dark World part. This is like the FTK. Cerulean to Silva. Silva basically puts 2 cards back into your opponent's hand, exactly 2, and Cerulean basically summons it onto your side of onto your opponent's side of the field, and makes it to where the Dark World player discards a card, but it's being discarded by your opponent's card effect. So it's really good. It triggers all the Dark Worlds and stuff like that. And Cerulean has like a hidden effect that it is just a monster that is on the Kashtira monster's board, so they have to enter battle phase, crash it, to like get rid of it basically. Snow, and yeah, Snow, Rainbow, Grapha, and 3 Genta. Basically all these are like the +1 Dark Worlds. You wanna see this in a Genta. It's like basically you just thin out your deck of as much as possible by just activating gates like a million times. And it's really good for Grapha and Rainbow, just to link climb and keeping your hand really big so the dangers usually will never miss. And this card is insane because this searches the field spell, and without it, I don't think this deck is possible because it really gives you like consistent discard outlets. And one of the issues is before an old Dark World, it was like always having a Fiend engrave, and now this like solves the problem. And then yeah, more stuff. Graph is my Lord and Savior, best card ever. And then spells. The main reason why this deck is so broken, there's a lot of broken spells. 3 Gates of the Dark World, pretty simple. I just want to draw cards, discard a card. It's not once per turn, so like this deck is beautiful because all this stuff is not once per turn, and you just got to activate like your entire deck in one go. 3 Trade In and 3 Allure. Mainly because you just want to just see your entire deck. You're playing a combo deck. Trade-in has like the added benefit of if you go trade-in Bigfoot, you end up popping, what is it called? You end up popping like random cards. Like a lot of times my Kashtira opponents, especially game 2 and 3, they were really scared of Nibiru, so they would only just summon Rise Heart by itself with like 3 materials, you know, to play around Nib as the 4th summon. And if you go trade in Bigfoot, they just lose. And then now Tactics and Thrust. So basically, you can only activate cards once per turn. You know, these cards can only be activated once per turn. So even though they're super powerful, because you're playing Dark World, you see them every single game. And then this is part of the combo. Basically, if you activate Ceruli, you can activate Thrust and Talents. So then you can search like Card Destruction, or this can search this. So it's basically playing 2 copies of Tactics. And then this is how usually you get the 5th card. But if you can't get the 5th card through Tactics, you get the 5th card through Gates of the Dark World. So it's a Dark World card that summons any Dark World, any floor or lower Dark World. So you summon back Ceruli by discarding a Fiend. And because Ceruli is being summoned by a Dark World effect, and it's being summoned on my side of the field, it makes my opponent discard a card. So if you get the 2 cards with Silva, you go Gates, Charge of the Dark World, summon back Ceruli, you hit the last card. Dark World Archives, it's just an extender. It just really helps. Yeah, usually this maybe might be able to cut, but like honestly, just having like a free discard is like really, really good. Just more cards to search for snow. Because like I feel like the best way to like play around hand traps is just like getting bigger and bigger hands by like resolving as much as snows, resolving as much as possible. So I want as many cards I can search in one turn. The fusion spell is broken. You only need 1 because like you're just playing a combo deck. I think if you're playing like a slow version of Dark World, maybe you play multiple spells, but all you needed was 1. Like my one loss was because I bricked with this Card Destruction. It's a god card. I activated it on almost all my opponents. You thin your deck out so much that you end up at Card Destruction. You end up activating it and just winning the game.
All right, was that 40 in the main or
42 because I made this deck like super last minute, and I had no one to talk to because no one talks to me about decks. Alright, it's funny because like Asala, Furman were playing it, and then even like Simon He was playing Dark World, and we all came to the conclusion that it was like a good deck, but I don't think any of us had talked to each other. When we found out we were playing the deck at the event, we're like, what? There's no way, and then we ended up all playing it. So here is the extra deck. This is the only card in my extra deck that like did not do anything. The one time I summoned this, it got impermed, but it's like one of those cards where like it's so good and my deck can really summon it, so why not? And the coolest thing is the Fiend, so you can just like it's Fiend. Added benefit of just having making Gates live. My favorite card, Dugaris, draw two, discard 1. That's the main function of it. Sometimes you summon back Silva, sometimes you summon back random cards. Never the pump, but I ended up using the pump one time yesterday. Definitely really good. One of the biggest changes I would change to this deck is I would add Zephyros to this deck, because if you see, I don't use my normal summon, and I can use Zephyros as a normal summon that turns into Dagaris. But the other thing is, like, if I don't draw into Zephyros, if I draw into Zephyros and I use Lava Golem, I can always discard Zephyros, and it still has like the ability to summon itself even without using your normal summon. And then the last one is Giant Trainer. Honestly, I only Giant Trainer twice today and yesterday. By this, honestly, I know it's kind of sacrilege, but I think there's a possibility, there's a world where you cut this card, because like if you get like you summon 3 Graphas, and you could do so much more than just do this, because if this gets impermed, like your life is over, like it's unplayable. But this resolved every time for me, so I'm chilling with that. Here's the big monsters. Saruja, really good. This and this are in the same vein, where like I think you have to play these cards because they fix like your worst or like really awkward hands. But in like the proper lines of play, these are kind of like baits. Like you end up like getting nibbed or getting impermed for your life because you summon these instead of like playing it like a lot safer. And then Apo, because you just summon so much monsters, you end on like an Apo and Omni Negate, and then even if you don't rip their entire hand, it's usually enough because like Muckcracker protects the board. Then I play one Zelantis. I won my feature match with this. This card is broken. Like, it is so good. I killed 3 people with Zelantis. I got nibbed, and then I basically what is it called? I activated. It's so dumb. I got nibbed, and basically I summoned this, I activate its effect, it banishes everything on the field, and it comes back. And then because the nib token is a token, it doesn't come back, and I kill them. But the main reason I play it is for 2 reasons. It's kind of like a utility spot going second, because like this was Zeus for a while, because like if you play Zeus in your extra deck, they're gonna always banish it off the Kashtira guys, or I can like threaten it like this. But I felt like this is like the easiest way to make it, because you can like cheat it into play with these two. But most importantly, there's a combo, right? So basically, like if they have like too much of a board, what you can do is you can summon what is it called? This guy Muttcracker and Zelantis on the field. If you have both these on the field and you activate Muttcracker's effect, basically it's going to summon any fiend, right? But however, you're locked into fiends. Then you activate Zelantis' effect, which banishes every single monster on the board, and then you summon back all the monsters. But because you're locked into fiend and it's your Zelantis summoning back all the monsters, you banish all the monsters but only summon back the fiends. So I cleared like crazy big Despia boards by just doing this, and then they just count out grind. And speaking of this is literally the best card in the extra deck. Muttcracker, I honestly want to play 2 because it's really, really good in the grind game, and Kashtira ends up always, like, the 2 Kashtiras that I played, they always banish this one. But it's really good because it basically just summons back a fiend, summons back any monster, locks you into fiends, and you discard it. Because you discard it, triggers it. And the best part is in my end board, I usually have this Appaloosa and like a bunch of random straggling monsters, and this has like a protection effect. So basically, even if your Apple is like super like little baby, you can always what is it called? You can always protect it. And then that's kind of like the combo, right? So like you have like this and this. And then because you have like a bunch of Dark Worlds on field, you can keep triggering it to protect the Appaloosa. And then when their turn starts, you can just turn because this is going to live by battle because it keeps protecting it. You can just level it up into this, and then you have that combo for next turn to just kill them. Then Security Dragon, Akashik, Cerberus, and Crosssheep, they all do the same thing. They all put Graph in the grave. So like I don't actually play that many Exceeds and stuff like that, because the issue is I want Graph in the grave. The easiest way to put Graph in the grave is, linking away, not detaching materials and stuff like that. So these are like really good. They all have like utility. I summon these, like all 3 of these, like in the same turn all the time going second, because like these just break boards, because these bounce cards and then these pop. But then they also have the added effect of being being combo cards, because these cards pop Ceruli, and then this card bounces Ceruli, so you can do it again. But most importantly, not most importantly, but you can pop the Ceruli off this, still draw a card, and then charge the Ceruli back, and that's how you get more cards. And then this card, Crosssheep, is insane because it just summons back like Snow, it summons back other stuff, and it just gets you like a really big board. Unicorn, it's also a fiend. So what happens a lot of the time is I get locked into fiends because I summon a Muttcracker. And if I summon a Muttcracker, you can do a lot of cool stuff where you can like link into what is it called? You can like summon Muttcracker, link into this, do this co-link, and then you can just do a bunch of like drawing cards and just making really big boards with the nightmares. Masquerade, you already know, I showed it to you, and the Fusion Grapha, he's absolutely insane. So like in tier, when they summoned this, it was like whatever, it's an Omni Gate. But in this deck, it's so crazy, and it got so many people. Is when this card dies, you just summon a Grapha back, and if you do, you both players discard a card. And like 2 opponents were literally caught off guard. Like I got super polyed, and they thought they were fine. And I went, okay, both players discard a card, and he ended up discarding his engine piece. But yep, that is the extra deck. Side deck's pretty simple. 3 Gamma and a Driver. It's mainly because Lancia and Shifter are so scary, but then also I kind of wanted to respect Sprite, and I felt like this is like the best hand trap versus that deck. And it's just really good. I kind of like side out like my dangers and like stuff like that, and like a lot of the really combo-y cards, and I kind of play like this Dark World hand trappy deck when I go second sometimes. So then including that is 3 Nib. This card underperformed. It's like really kind of mid, because like a lot of times they always just summon like the Rise Hearts and stuff. A Rise Heart with 3 materials, so then they can't nib me because that's the 4th summon. 2 Book of Eclipse. I wanted to side 3, but then like the way the siding patterns work, like I could only afford to fit 2. I never want this, and then sometimes I would actually side going first because like even if I get like hand trapped to infinity, as long as I can like Book of Eclipse stop them from killing me, like Dark World is so volatile that I end up killing. I can kill them even if they draw like infinite. Whenever I go first and the lava golems aren't good, I decide 2 goes in match and a Call by the Grave. I don't want to side 3 goes in match because it has diminishing returns. All you want to do is summon 1 goes in match and like summon the negate guy, and like some decks just lose to that. And then Call by the Grave is for any deck, anytime I'm going first, honestly. And then I just want to respect trap deck, so I played 3 twin. A lot of my cards are for going second because going first. I'm probably just gonna win.
All right, awesome. So there you guys have it. Like we said, unfortunately bubbled, but he personally only lost 1. Anything else you want to say before we close it out?
No, and Grapha is the best card ever.
All right, well, you guys heard it here. You know the deal. If you liked it, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, comment, share with friends. Make sure you congratulate Ed in the comments for doing so well with a deck that not a lot of people would have expected. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.